Hey, boo! What's up? Is a culture detective here investigating your favorite movies, and today I am continuing a tradition that I've been doing in this channel for a while now, and that is I'm going to be reviewing a horror film for Halloween. So, yeah, it's the scary season again, and it actually happens tomorrow, but I thought I should get ahead of time. The interesting thing is, I realized that for the last 3 years in a row, I think I reviewed Japanese horror films. And I reviewed Audition, I have reviewed Ring, and then last year I reviewed Pulse. And they're all amazing horror films. They're all some of my favorite horror films ever. But I cannot do another J horror film. I feel like that's just cheating, right? And so I thought to myself, what horror film should I watch and review? Should I bring something new and interesting to the table? And yes, that's what I'm exactly going to do, which is why today I'm reviewing the French horror film from the year 1960, Les Yeux sans visage, or Eyes Without a Face, directed by Georges Franju. So, yeah, I'm actually gonna watch Dark Water from the same director as Ring tonight, but I'm not gonna be reviewing that. Instead, I'm gonna be talking about Eyes Without a Face, and I'm gonna talk fast because I have school in like an hour and I need to leave. But yeah, first of all, this movie is from the year 1960, and I hate to be that kind of guy, but honestly, any horror film before the 1970s will have little to no effect on me. Obviously, films and TV have become more and more violent and bloody and scary and explicit since the 70s. And also, it's in black and white, which automatically takes the immersion away. I do have to admit, though, black and white horror can be done very well. There's a lot of great black and white horror. So again, I hate to be that kind of guy because I watch a lot of films from the 60s, 50s, 40s. It's just that it will not have the same effect on me as something made in the 90s, which, by the way, the 90s and the 2000s are the scariest decades for horror films, in my opinion. For me, anyways. But what makes Eyes Without a Face surprising to me is that there is a face removal scene that is surprisingly graphic and explicit. I was genuinely surprised that a film from the 1960s would do something like that. And I really like the ending. I thought the ending is sort of like revenge is a dish served cold kind of ending. And really good, really cathartic, really climactic. And beyond that, I don't really have a lot else to say about this film. It is really straightforward. It's about family, a couple, a mom and a dad, kidnapping a young woman, and then the dad, being the surgeon, cut away the face of the young woman and then give it to their daughter, who was believed to have died in a car crash or something. But she's alive, just has a disfigured face. And that's a really interesting topic. There are like two other films in the 1960s that explore something similar. One is Seconds, the other is The Face of Another. Both are really interesting. I actually haven't seen Seconds, so I can't attest to that. But Eyes Without a Face is indeed another film in this kind of topic. And yeah, Edgar Wright recommends, I guess. Edgar Wright recommends. For me personally, I was not particularly wowed by this film. In fact, I was even more so surprised by how plain and straightforward this film is. A lot of the scenes, the climax scenes in the last act, are all really silent, nothing too dramatic, no dramatic music, nothing like that. And I feel like that's intentional. I feel there at times I even feel like this is Bressonian with how plain and straightforward it is. But of course, that is a huge stretch by a huge margin. But yeah, that's basically all I can say about this film. Go check it out if you want to dip your toes into horror history, French film history. But for me, I am giving this one a solid light 8 out of 10. Yeah. So, have you watched Eyes Without a Face? Comments below, let me know. Subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.